everybody, Boris Schlossberg, welcome to the trading battle. Today I have a head-to-head battle between Austin Silver and the ever-elusive, ever-cryptic, ever-enjoyable Crypto Miki. Hey, hi guys, how we doing?
Hello.
Doing well.
Doing very good.
Everybody's doing great, wonderful. Today we're going to go head-to-head, mano-a-mano, toe-to-toe. It's the dog days of summer. It's quiet in the markets. Volatility is compressed, but there's still trades to be made, and actually some really good trades. We're going to talk about every asset class that we can possibly think of, because these guys trade just about everything that moves, and get some good strategy ideas for everybody. Do not forget to hit the like button. Do not forget to follow us on YouTube, because we bring these trading battles to you now week after week after week. We're back from the breaks, and we're ready for some amazing educational knowledge. Any questions, feel free to post them in the chat. I'll relay them to the traders. But let's start with everybody. Let's start actually with Austin. How has your summer been so far? You sitting there sweltering in the heat of Florida?
It's a little hot in Florida. Yeah, but you know what? I heard that, like I said, the heat up north is pretty bad too. So we're making it work, spending a lot of time boats, spending a lot of time at the beach. But markets have been good for us. Really, I've been, like I said to you before, doing a lot less than I was doing in forex, focusing on Bitcoin and indices because they've been working well, even a little commodities. So I'm enjoying trading right now a lot. Really happy with the prop firm I'm working with. Just really, really good overall.
Interesting. Now, the prop firm you're working with, are you trading all these assets with them? Is that what you're doing? You're trading Bitcoin, and so you're trading them on a CFD basis? Is that how that works?
Exactly. So their broker that they have us set up with is not in the United States, which allows us to trade. There's a misconception. People think it's illegal. I think we might have talked about this before. It's not illegal to trade CFDs if you're based in the US. Just there's no US brokers that can trade CFDs. It was put out by the Dodd-Frank Act that the brokers couldn't do it. So now you just have to use a broker that's overseas, which the prop firm forces us to use anyway. So it kind of like forced me into trading more markets, which I'm very grateful for.
Actually,
you have to always,
to sort of clarify this for everybody who's a U.S. customer, the only way you could actually trade CFDs is if you trade prop, because that's the one exception to the rule. You know, as a U.S. customer, you're not allowed to actually open accounts with firms that are overseas. But if you're a prop trader, you are. And that allows you, in fact, that you obviously trade CFDs, which is great, because essentially CFDs for U.S. customers are essentially like futures products without the commission. That's how I would. So that makes it a lot easier to engage with all of them. Crypto, my friend, or Miki.
Yes, sir.
I feel like that summer song, Miki, where are you, Miki now? How has your summer been, and what have you been focusing on in these dog days?
My summer's been very good. I've been focusing on shorting the crypto markets, and a lot on my swing trades as well in my stock portfolio.
that arc is so huge that you have
sorry, it's not fitting on the screen. PayPal is
you can't even fit the Bitcoin top on the screen. It's like the platform.
This is actually PayPal holding. So I was actually looking at them because their earnings just came in and they surpassed. They actually had amazing earnings. So I'm actually holding a swing position from 72. So I'm up handsomely on that position. So probably going to close it tomorrow. So that's going to be a nice win. But overall, you can see Bitcoin been really, taking it to the chin lately. Right now, we came all the way down to 17,000. So I'm very, very happy to see that. I think we had like a perfect measured move right here from 40,000 down to 26, and then you measured that from 31 all the way down to around 18 to 17. We had some wicks below, but ultimately those candles closed.
Can I stop you there? By measured move, you mean there's a sort of equidistant?
Equal distance. So I just copy paste this line right here, and you drag it all the way down, and then there you go. You got your bottom right there.
So this is three down legs a charm. Does that mean we're gonna go down to 9?
I had that chart before. I had that third leg down, but ultimately I think we had a bit of a bottom here. We might see some upside to potentially 26,000, 28,000, maybe come back and retest this level right here. Oops, sorry. I gotta take this one. Around this level, we might see some pretty heavy resistance, and maybe if we do get above, we might see this massive resistance coming in at 28,000. So
right.
I don't think cryptos are going to go flying to the moon like everyone thinks. I see some YouTubers saying the bull market has been restarted. I think we're
Well,
getting a little
Anthony
bit.
Scaramucci today said that the fair value of Bitcoin is 40,000. Bear market is over. Do you agree with him? And what do you think is the fair value of Bitcoin?
I would completely disagree with him. And
Okay.
I mean, this guy's he's buying Bitcoin when it was at 50,000, 60,000. And so
Yes.
the fair value of Bitcoin is essentially what you mine Bitcoin for, which is around the $5,000, $5,700 area. So that's what basically it costs in electricity to mine Bitcoin. So that's what it would be. That's what your fair value would be.
Okay. So
Right.
it's
a lot of people don't
the
know
production value of Bitcoin is about 6,000. Everything above that is essentially market valuation on a premium onto what they think is the utility value of Bitcoin.
Correct.
Yeah. Now, Austin, you've been trading crypto just purely on technicals. You don't even bother with the myriad stories, the forex, the non-forex, the proof of concept, proof of work, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But you've just been trading it because it's been moving. So can we take a look at what you've been doing? You said you had a couple of trades today. Love to hear what you did with Bitcoin. Maybe run us through a couple of your setups.
Absolutely. Okay. So short term, I'm definitely very focused on Bitcoin just because it's a strong performing asset based on my last 2 months of trading. So I'm really big on tracking my trades, tracking my mistakes, journaling everything I do to try to learn from it and then get better. And I think by tracking all of my trades.
Can I stop you right there? What do you use to journal your trades? Do you just put them into a spreadsheet or do you have a special piece of software?
So it's kind of like both. It's an automated spreadsheet that we've built and we give it to people who work with us in our mentorship group. It tracks trades specifically for how we trade. So if you go to for example, FX Blue or MyFXBook, those are two forex very popular trading tracking softwares. They will tell you. Yes, they'll give you your entry price. They'll give you your statistics. But what I want to know is what entry signals, because I have 4 entries. They're specific patterns that I look for. I want to know which entries am I trading the best, which time of day am I trading the best, and which asset am I trading the best, which those softwares don't tell you. So we just built our own spreadsheet. I can show it to you actually really quick if I can switch my screen.
Yeah, let's look. Hell yeah.
Why not, yes. Right? We got to share the value, share the love. So we call it a trader improvement program. This is our trader improvement workbook. If you guys can see my screen there. Yep. So that's this is my daily report card for each day where I fill out all of the information for the day. So let's just take a look. This is my today.
This brings nightmares of grade school for me, but okay.
But you know what? I love it. I really do. So today I finished up about 0.3% between my 2 trades. First trade was 0.5% risk. Second trade was a little bit more risk, but ended up working and moving further. But what I wanted to show you here is at the bottom, I'm tracking my trading errors each day, my habits off the charts, my habits on the charts. What I check off here gets populated in a weekly report card to then tell me what mistakes am I making on which days, which repeated mistakes am I making, how many times per week, and how does that correlate to what I'm doing on and off the charts. So if you look back at last week, Tuesday, off the rails, C grade on all of my errors. Look at the day after though. Wednesday, bounced back, really focused to not repeat mistakes. And then you can start to see how it correlates where Tuesday I didn't work out, I didn't spend time with my wife, end up trading a little bit more aggressively. I traded a pair that wasn't on my list. I didn't get out. It wasn't working for me. So then by seeing this, and because if you get to Friday, you're not going to remember Tuesday if you're actively trading like me. So by seeing this, I recap the entire week with a lot of detail here. What could I have done better? Really, these questions will change the game. If you're watching this, please steal from me and ask yourself questions like this at the end of each day or each week. 2 that I could give you guys that are great would be, first, what is the biggest lesson of the day? Second, what could I have done to make more or lose less? And then third, my favorite one is how much money did I cost my trading business today? Meaning, if I hit a winning trade, did I maximize that and make the most? Or did I take a losing trade and cost myself the loss? So for today, I had 2 trades. First trade was what we would call an A2 signal short. Let me make sure you guys can see this as well. Let me flip this so it goes like this. And then here. So this was the first trade of the day.
Okay.
Short here. You can actually see we've coded.
It's Bitcoin, right? Okay, so we're short there. Okay.
So we're short Bitcoin at around 22,800 right before market open, 15 minutes before market open. The way that I'm identifying this entry signal, you'd love this, Boris. It's a break of the 21 EMA, but majority of the body is below the 21 EMA when the 8 EMA is below it. So we call, if the 8 is below a 21, we call that
it's a limp break. It's a limp break.
Exactly.
Okay.
So what I'm looking for then is to use a 1.6 fib as a stop loss right there. And that's where I'm going to look to all of these trades. I'm looking for 1R. This trade I got in a little bit late, didn't get my 1R because my entry was about here. So I did not get 1R on this trade, and it stopped me out, as you can see, with this big bar. But I was really proud of myself today because
how deep into R were you? It looks like you had some P&L and then it just turned
close. So I try to be as robotic.
Were you in 0.75 R into the trade before it turned on you?
I was really close. Yeah. And
so let me ask you this. This is interesting. Are you 100% stick to your target, or do you I'm close enough, I'm closing it out? Do you ever do that?
Absolutely. Based on and James, the other guy that I trade with, he does that really well. But based on my testing, because I've been back testing this A2 entry for a long time now, a couple of months, I've got over a couple hundred of these markups on Bitcoin. These are not just 1R trades. They're going to go 2R, 3R, 4R. But 1R is my threshold of take profit, lock the stop loss. Understood. If I get tapped, I'll look for another entry. But I want to win, because with this prop firm, I don't like losing. Psychologically, I hate losing. So I need to ensure winning. I need to ensure I'm compounding this account. So I'm looking for that 1R, didn't get it here. And all I did then was kind of zoom myself out. And something I've always used, and I actually talked about this in a previous battle, is divergence. We had this bullish divergence down here on this RSI. You can see it from about 7 o'clock New York time yesterday into today. It's been rising.
Is that a 15-minute chart? Yep,
it's a 15-minute chart with a 21 period RSI. That's all green line is. So when I see that rising RSI and I match those points on price action with this white line, that price falling but RSI rising creates bullish divergence. So now that that divergence is in, and I saw, if you mark off just a zone at yesterday's low right here, I saw not only could we not get under it, but we almost looked like we wanted to hold above it at about 10:30 this morning. I took a long position here on the 21 EMA now, opposite the idea, right? 8 EMA is above the 21. So now I can look. I actually had a 1 minute entry.
Where did you get in? You get in
right after that, the 15 minute, 11:15 to 11:30 sits on the 21 EMA. I like the risk reward with a stop. I put my stop at the low of day, and then I'm looking for it to retrace the high of day.
Just to review, you get in, it dips against you a little bit, right? Well, no, not deep enough.
Not deep enough. I'm in. It drops very little in this first wick. The wick doesn't even break past the previous wick. Candle ends bullish. I'm big on only entering on 15-minute closes when I'm trading a 15-minute chart. And then I judge the trade based on 15-minute closes. So bullish, 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 bullish. I was full out of this trade at about 2R. Full move is 2.5R. This covered my loss and put me profitable on the day. So I was very happy with this. Flipping the bias, being able to catch volatility on both sides of it. It's why I love Bitcoin.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Wow. Very good. Yeah. Miki, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing good. I'm learning. I'm absorbing Austin's knowledge.
I know, it's fascinating. He's very, very nimble, which is what you got to be when you're day trading. So I wanted to ask you. You obviously have been more swing-like in your positions, right?
Yeah, I like to think a little bit longer term, and it kind of works in the favor with my job at the bank too. It's not as active as you guys. You guys are doing 10, 20 trades a day. I don't do that as much. Probably on my days off, I'll do a little bit of day trading as well. But you guys are definitely more day traders than me.
Sure. So typically, what's the duration of your trade? How long does it last?
It could depend. I could hold it for a couple of days. It could be a couple of weeks. It depends on the trade, right? So take for example, my PayPal trade. I've been holding it for a couple of weeks now, maybe 3 weeks.
Oh, you know what? Run us through the PayPal. I mean, I've been actually bullish PayPal because
PayPal actually. So PayPal. So what was? Yeah. Well, you can see with this massive collapse in PayPal, I was looking at some pretty darn big support levels. So around the 2018 levels, I was seeing some pretty strong support here, and then I saw the price, bottoming out right here. And then we came back down. And anytime it started to dip below, I kind of added to my position. I initially started to add around 75 and I averaged down to 72.
Okay,
So
where would you have been out? 60? What would have blown you out of position? Where would you have been wrong?
confirmation probably like underneath like 65. It's hard to go down there. I probably cut the trade. But
Okay.
yeah, I mean, I always start with a small position, and I don't go all in. I don't go heavy like 10% of the trading portfolio in. I don't do that. Usually I'll do like 2%. And I don't have any leverage too, so I'll probably like 2,000 here, add another 2,000, and then 2,000, and then eventually have a $6,000 position at 72, and it goes back
Right.
up, and now we're up over. Well, post market, because the earnings were great, we're up 39%, but technically at the close we were up 25%. And actually, I played it safe into going into earnings because I like to play it safe. I took half the position out, and if earnings were bad, then at least I took my profits. And if earnings are good, then I still have to position it. So I like to play defensive, not on the offensive. I don't like to lose, right? I like to minimize those losses, and I like to take profit a lot.
Yeah, 100%. Speaking of which, so it's been a bear market. There's been a lot of losses everywhere. A lot of people are struggling. And the challenge number one today is trade a bear market strategy to maximize profits. So who wants to go first? Should we start with Austin? Austin, you want to tackle that one? It's an interesting proposition. A bear market strategy to maximize profits.
Can I still be bullish though in a bear market? Is that okay?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Absolutely.
Good. So if you can see my screen, what I'm looking at first, because I know that when we do these trading battles, we want to look at stuff over a little bit longer of a time frame than I'm used to. I told you my average trade is sometimes 30 minutes, 45 minutes. But when I'm here with you guys, I like to try to forecast a little bit more than I normally do. So first, I'm looking at the 4-hour here. This is the low back from June 18th. Since we've set that low, and I have an anchored VWAP here in the green and blue, the blue line here is the VWAP. It looks like it's holding this VWAP very strong.
Sorry, the blue line is the VWAP. Yeah. The green is the standard deviation wrap. Is that what
Correct.
it is?
They're like the Bollinger Bands that move around it. I'm not a big VWAP guy, but do like to look at it when we're, I think, in a bear market still, but in a potential bull market rally within the bear. We talked, I think last time too, Boris, we've had some of the biggest bull rallies in the stock market ever in overall bear markets, So I don't like to just lock in and say, oh, the bear market is still in. I'm going to say, well, we could get a bullish pop, like Miki said, to 28K, 29K. That'd be fantastic for what I'm seeing here on the 4-hour. So that's the first thing. Second thing, we remove that VWAP. That was, like I said, anchored from the June low. I like to really look at this A2 indicator that we've been working on, which is that 21 EMA break. If you guys actually take a look back, my last trading battle against Trader Nick happened right here on the 1st of May or 1st of June, last day of May, right when we got this A2 indicator short, and Nick made me trade Bitcoin. And that's how I ended up beating Nick on that trading battle, is it ended up tanking right after that A2 short. So now the reason I shared that, last week, I made money buying Bitcoin after we have this A2 long, 8 EMA above the 21, body through the 21, but majority of the body here being above the 21 forced the indicator to paint. Yeah.
Can I ask you,
please,
what is the definition of majority? 60%, 55%?
So 51%. So the way that this indicator is built, it's looking at 51% of the price action being still above the 21 EMA value. Because for those of you that don't know, EMAs are not lines. They're dots connected by a line that's smoothed out to look like a moving average. So in this bar, there are 2 data points that are the 8 EMA and the 21 EMA. So it's just basing it on that price of that data point for everybody that didn't know. Now, to the A2 idea here, to give you an idea, Boris, you'll like this. It's super simple. The idea of an A2 entry, because I told you breakouts for us have not been working. So we started to just look for other trade ideas, look for what was working. And a thought came to me one day. When you're trying to buy something, what's the best price to buy it at, Boris?
The retrace price.
The lowest price possible. Yeah. And when you're trying to sell something, what's the best price? The highest price.
Yeah, you guys went from trading breakouts to basically trading retraces, which is a bear market strategy. Right.
Correct. Okay. So now with these retracements, just coming up with, you have to just generate an idea, everybody. If you are sitting at home and you're like, how does Austin say he's coming up with these? It's just ideas. You come up with a thesis, you come up with rules around it, you test it. If you don't use TradingView, another great platform you guys should check out is TrendSpider. I've been playing with their, I know the guys that work there. They have a great back testing automated thing. It's instant. It's amazing. that can help you test some of these fun ideas that you have.
Is it
so we tested
SPYDER or
Trend
SPR?
Spider? Yep. Trend Spider,
SPY.
like a spider. Yep, it's cool.
Okay.
Very, very cool guys. They'll love the promotion. They're really, really solid guys.
Okay.
So this would be the stop loss, and this is the kind of stop loss that we ideally were looking for. At the end of a pullback, I'm not going to go with a stop loss way down here. I want structure. Right. If it takes out previous structure to the downside, why would I want to be long at that price anymore?
Right.
So it's a very common thing with my thesis and then lining it up with the 1.618 fib. So we feel good about that stop, and that's what generated the longs for me. So the long story short, I'm probably going to be placing a buy on Bitcoin here and looking to take the buy into the end of the week. I don't want to fight the 8 and the 21 EMAs. That would be against what I know. Now, if it bodies through the 21 EMA, we could get another A2 that could lead us higher in the next few days. Like Miki said, up towards that 28, 29K level up here. So that's my play. I'm going to look to get in that trade here as we're on the stream. And that'll be my first one for the bear market strategy.
Okay. So you're buying a dip on a counter trend move.
Yeah, we've been dipping for how long now, you know?
In Bitcoin. It's an enigma.
I like it.
Wrapped in a mystery, found in a what is that? I forgot the whole expression. I just screwed up my whole joke. Okay. Moving on. Miki.
Yes, sir.
Well, I forget what it's enigma. It's a mystery wrapped in enigma.
I know what you're saying. I don't know it, but I get your reference.
You know what I'm saying. This is unfortunately the onset of old age. All right. Moving on to Mick and his bear market strategy to maximize profits. It'll be interesting to see. I'm wondering actually if you're going to be short Bitcoin or if you're going to be looking at some other stuff.
Oh, I will be short Bitcoin. Yes.
Oh, this is great. I love it. We got.
I'm on your. You know what? I'm on your side, Boris. We're gonna short it all the way to zero, but I don't think we're gonna go to zero. But we'll hold the short just for you. I ultimately think. I gotta answer your question first for the bear market strategy. So
wouldn't it be just think about this? Wouldn't it be amazing if in 5 years Bitcoin was zero and everybody would be like, what the hell were we thinking?
I mean, I don't think
what the hell were we thinking
that if it was zero.
Did you guys see today Michael Saylor is stepping down?
Of guys going, it's worth $500,000.
Austin. Michael Saylor is stepping down because he ate a $917 million Bitcoin loss. So
right, 900 million, bro.
Yeah, that's
it's crazy.
It looks bad.
That's what happens when you put your treasury into Bitcoin.
Yeah, but it's blind conviction. You know, that's what that is. That should teach us all a lesson. Like, you can't be blindly involved. Go ahead, Mickey.
It's a lot of big hedge fund guys and not just big hedge fund, but big CEOs and stuff getting a little bit over leveraged, I would say, with their Bitcoin buying. MicroStrategy was buying. I don't know how many millions or billions he issued in bonds to buy Bitcoin,
right?
But it was a lot, right? I think his liquidation price for everything is at $300 or $3,800, which is quite low. But as the Bitcoin price keeps tanking, he needs to commit a lot more Bitcoin to cover all these losses that he's going to be sustaining. But ultimately, let's get back to the question, the bear market strategy. I think some of the biggest rallies come from bear market rallies, as we've seen so far. We've gotten a 15% rally here from the lows, and now we're up, I think, 17% from the lows, or a little bit more than that. 17.9, but basically 18%. I think we're getting near a top in the market. I don't think if we do get above this and we go tag this yellow line right here, I think that'll be, the signal for where Bitcoin's probably going to go to 26 to 28,000. And at that point, I'd probably start to enter some shorts. I'm already in a short in the NASDAQ because I wasn't sure that we were going to get there. So I entered my short right at this blue line right here, as you can see. But if we do get it there, then I'll add to my short position.
So we're trading. I'm sorry. We're talking Bitcoin and we're looking at.
We're talking about Bitcoin and we're talking about the NASDAQ, but
they move so similarly. You know what I mean?
They move very similarly, essentially. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, your view is that if NAS goes, you short a little bit here at 12,000. You think NAS tops out 12,800, 13,000 max? Is that the idea?
we could go above it, but I don't think we're going to hold that level. I think the weekly's still going to close underneath, but we'll see what happens. I mean, I was very bearish when these levels right here. I think right here, yeah, around here. This is where I started to place some shorts on the Nasdaq. A lot of people were still bullish. They're like, no, the market's going to keep going up. I'm like, we've just gotten a massive bear market rally. We are in a bear market. A lot of people need to realize that we will keep going down, and you know what? That's exactly what happened in the coming months. We tanked essentially.
Okay, so basically,
tech stocks were slaughtered.
You're betting that we're going to make a lower high somewhere around 13,000. You're starting to scale into your trade.
I start to build my shorts now a little bit here, and it's just a starter position, right? I'm not going crazy heavy, and if it does move against me, then I can add to the position, and I can even double up, right?
Could you, when you say starter position, in percentage terms, is it a sort of a 20%?
1 to 2% of my trading portfolio.
Right. No, but I meant of the total position. Let's say your fully weighted position. Like, is it 20% of your fully position when you initiate the first? Like, is it 1/5 of your total commitment capital that you're going to do? Or you're going to do 1 or 2% of your portfolio.
I do like 1/10. I'd say I'd do 1/10.
What's the maximum of your portfolio you'll commit to this trade?
So let's say I have 100,000, right? I'd probably do, if I had to commit a lot of my portfolio to this trade, I'd probably do max $10,000, right? Okay. And I actually have a position that I can actually talk about right now, which is I'm long TLT, which is the 20-year Treasury bond. And, I've been averaging down. I actually have 9,000 in right now. So I'm 9/10.
You're near max allocation.
I'm near max, right? And I was adding it here and I was adding there. And eventually my average is around 17. So I'm slightly in the money. But ultimately, I think we could come back around maybe 130, 129 in bonds, because I still think bond yields will pull back. So
what is that for yield challenged people? 130 on the TLT. What does that translate into yields? Like, what do you think is it like a 275? Where is that going to be?
So I have I'll look at the 10-year actually right now. I have the 10-year right here. I think the 10-year is probably maybe going to come back down to 2% potentially. I think
really.
I think inflation could start to curve down after we've seen this big drop in oil and commodity prices. So that's going to probably reduce the next inflation report that we're going to get. And then I think the Fed is going to take that as a sign that, oh my God, we did it. Inflation's gone. And then, they're going to potentially maybe start to cut rates sooner than they should. And, they should be, keep raising the rates, but they're probably not going to do that because the economy's suffering.
Right.
But
interesting.
The bond market's going to price that in advance anyways.
Do you think, Miki, are they going to, do you think, start hiking rates in 2023 or lowering rates in 2023?
So I think that the next meeting for rate hikes, I think it's September 28th or something like that.
Yep.
I think we might get, so the last meeting, they said they're going to do 0.75 basis points. I think they're most likely going to do 0.5 to maybe 0.25 rate hike. I think we're going to get our last rate hike potentially coming
slowing down.
Yeah, slowing down. And the market's going to take that as like, oh my God, that's it. Inflation's going away, because inflation's probably going to curve down a little bit. It might come back down to 7% in the US, because I think it's at 9.1 in the US right now, which is really high.
Correct.
And then they're gonna do the biggest mistake ever, and they're probably gonna start cutting rates or just starting print money just in general, because right now they haven't been printing money, but they're probably gonna restart those printers, and that's gonna cause a huge problem. And
why
then
do you
they're
think
going to see inflation.
A problem? Like, do you mean like a problem that it'll start ramping up markets again?
I think it's going to cause more inflation than there
already
is.
It's weird too, because, and I don't disagree at all. I just am. It's very weird how you look at the numbers, and Boris, you probably have a good opinion on this. They change the way that they calculate these numbers so often. Like, the way they calculate unemployment today is different than how they used to calculate it back in 10 years ago. They've changed how some of these baskets are measured. So while inflation at 9%, we could drop it down to 7 or 5%. Price of goods are not going down. Groceries are not going down. Things are not getting cheaper for the average American. It's getting harder. So weird mixture. And I think if you look back in history, it's very hard. I mean, I read Ray Dalio's new book. It's very hard, even for him, who has unlimited resources, to find a point in history where we've been in a similar situation to this, with all of these weird puzzle pieces trying to come together. So it's very hard to predict what's going to happen in the next couple of years. But you know what? I have to be 51% optimistic, and I hope you share it with me, Boris. I'm going to bet on America. I'm going to bet that we're still going to be top dog. I still have to be optimistic. Boris is shaking his head. He's like, yeah.
No, I'm shaking my head at Ray Dalio, because I'm actually super optimistic. I think we are going to come down. I think technology is going to destroy prices. I think my thesis is that people are looking at the world from 1970s lenses. When things were slow, when you picked up the phone, when people talked, still on the telegram, the speed with which we all adjust everything from financial markets to physical markets to actual labor markets is so much faster now because of digitization that we're already seeing supply chains coming back.
Look at the price of lumber. Do you remember lumber was outrageous?
Yeah.
And now it's back to what it was before the pandemic.
Correct.
So prices can come back. They can come back.
Yes, prices can come back down.
The one wrinkle in all of this is, of course, geopolitics. I mean, if China really gets very, very intense about Taiwan, all bets are off, because the greatest manufacturing economy in the world then becomes essentially a non-producer. The world, we don't know what happens. But assuming that, I don't think the Chinese are wants to. They like to win by never firing a shot. Exactly. They're not like the Russians. They're not stupid. No. They're not, and therefore, well, it's okay. I can insult Russians since I'm one of them. The point being is that, I think people constantly underestimate the incredible power of technology to just ridiculously destroy costs going forward. So I'm a big bull going forward.
That's a great answer. And honestly, even if you think, sorry, one more comment. Even if you think about how technology will make, we're making food in a laboratory now. Not saying that that's the healthiest food, but as a solution to it will be good for the market. It'll be good for America. It'll be good for people. They won't starve.
Yeah, exactly. There's a million scientific examples that we're on the cusp of doing.
Exactly. And we've always figured it out. Human ingenuity is incredible. We've always figured it out. So I can't be a pessimist. Exactly. The world's not ending. I'm just not going to live like that.
Neither will I. So, but what is ending, I think, is the oil rally, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that, because we mentioned the fact that oil is sort of like one of the main inputs to decline in inflation. We talked about the fact that gas prices in Florida, you were telling me, are now under 4. In Jersey, they're at 4. Those are big declines. We've had some of the most rapid declines. That's sort of to my thesis that when things go, they go super fast. Everybody was talking about, oil is $5 a gallon. I can't even pay for food if I'm paying for oil, and boom, within a month, we've had the fastest decline in 20 years. So my question to you is, where do you think oil is going? What's going on with the oil market as it stands right now?
So I actually would be one of the newer guys into oil, because if you guys are, if you could see my screen, I'm looking at the daily time frame. Look back at oil previous this invasion. The daily moves in oil were so much smaller than they were starting in end of February, starting at the beginning of March.
Right.
So when I got interested in this was in March, when we started to see that volatility, as you know, upside and downside. So now I'm actually really interested to see, are we going to break this 90, 94 support level and hit under it? If you look at my indicators, I do like this yellow line here. It's a moving average applied to the RSI. It's a sentiment indicator. Sentiment went bearish July 14th for the first time since January. So that could be an indicator that we are in for some.
Sentiment went bearish is when that yellow line breaks the green line?
It's when yellow goes under a 50 value. If it's above a 50 value, you would lean towards thinking buying sentiment is control. Yep. If it's under it, so almost remove the green line here, and we're just looking at a 50 value in the middle, and I'm just looking to see above and below. And traditionally, when oil's above, it will continue to move higher, and when it's below, it will see a pullback. The question is this support zone going to hold? This is the start where we were at when the invasion started. This is where we've bounced traditionally the last quarter, 2 quarters of the year. So what are we going to do here is the big question. I don't forecast though, Boris. So I'm saying we're going lower. When we hold this and the 8 and 21 EMAs cross up, I'll become a short-term bull. That's a daily short-term bullish sign. And then we'll look for more buys. But I think right now,
do you have any signals? So far, no signals either way, right? For you, there's no signal.
I haven't had a signal short or long since June 15th. That was a long signal that would have been a loser. But if you look back, there's a couple of long signals back in here in April and in May that ended up being really great longs. So for now, it's been like, if you look at my P&L, haven't traded oil the last month. I haven't traded oil since March, April.
Sorry, that setup, is it A12? Is that what it's called?
A2.
A2. So generally, like when you back test that setup on a 1-to-1 R, how much of an edge does that setup have for you? Like, is it a 60% edge?
70% win rate. It's probably higher, really, on the right assets.
On a 1-to-1 R.
On a 1-to-1, yeah, and that's what I'm looking for right now. So you put this on a forex pair. I could show you, like, for example, we go to like a 15-minute time frame of, let's look at like a random one, GBP AUD. Today, AUD is not a good example because it had that news, but you can see there's a lot more signals to the downside and upside on forex pairs. So I haven't been using it on forex pairs. I don't have testing on forex pairs. I think it's choppier on forex pairs. I think that 70 goes down, and I think it's actually a higher than 70%. If it's on Bitcoin or an index.
Also, I'm just looking. It's interesting. I'm looking at the choppiness. The choppy signals are generally clustered around Asia trade, which is like garbage, which is just garbage time. Anyways.
Right. So I don't even test it in Asia. Right. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Versus you look at this one. You could take this one, Boris, on G. This is GA 2 days ago, right here at the London Open, 2:45, 3 a.m. Short signal right here, instant.
Right.
So they're there. You need that volatility.
Sorry, and then so there's a short signal there in the U.S., right? That's the 7 o'clock that flips.
And this was on. So, but this is where also you got to read the news. Forex Factory would tell you, or any news site would tell you, there was 8:30 news this day, and the news was why you would not take a short into a news.
So that's actually it's a question to both of you guys. Let's ask crypto first, Miki.
Yeah.
So my view on technicals is that, especially this is short-term technicals. So I don't know if you would have an opinion on this, but my view is that short-term technicals only work in essentially a static environment. What I mean by that is that they're really in an equilibrium environment. So when it's just basically supply demand, when it's just the behavior is all about supply demand and various price structures, that when you introduce a large, unknown piece of news, it doesn't matter what technical structure you have. It's always going to get upended because on a short-term time frame, because that destroys the equilibrium, which is what the technical structure kind of trades off of. I wonder if you agree with me on that.
I'm going to say yes, because I don't trade short-term patterns that much. I don't really trade on like the 5-minute that much. I do it sometimes with my viewers in the Discord and stuff. It's a lot of fun, and they're really good at it. So
do you find
focus more on my swing trades and my long term?
So like let's talk about big news. So like Ethereum turning over into proof of stake, which you and I were talking about the idea that with Ethereum now going to proof of stake, is this going to maintain its popularity? This is kind of not a single day news event. This is a major transformational news event. Does that have any technical pattern view, or on the longer term charts you'll absorb it?
So I'm not like a blockchain expert by any means. I also trade Ethereum. I read a little bit here and there, and I might also mine Ethereum, and I mine Ethereum Classic as well. So I'm kind of in the loop of what's going on there. And I know the merge is in 51 days, if I'm not mistaken. Last I checked. They have the testnet coming up, so they got to pass that. Obviously, if that fails, maybe we're going to get another delay, unless they can fix it with the remaining days after the testnet comes in. But I'm not that bullish on Ethereum. I think it's kind of like a buy the rumor, sell the news type of deal. That's gonna happen. I think we might get a big surge in Ethereum. If anything, I think Ethereum could potentially maybe reach 2,400 to 2,300 before we see like a big collapse. But
what makes you say that from a technical perspective? Just higher lows.
Yeah.
Here?
So if we see Bitcoin pumping towards the upside, like to 26 to 28,000, you're definitely going to see Ethereum have a huge move towards the upside. Like Bitcoin moved from 20,000 to 23,000, and that was enough for Ethereum to move from 1,000 all the way to 1,700. That is a massive move. That's a 70% move. Yeah, that's a huge move compared to Bitcoin. Bitcoin was only that was about, so from 20,000 to 23,000 where we are, that's a 14% move, right? So it's, compared to Ethereum, you have a lot more volatility there and a lot more leverage. So yeah,
interesting.
I definitely think Ethereum could reach that level easily.
So that brings me up to our challenge number 2, where we're going to give you 5 days to hold a trade on a 5-minute chart. So you have to find a trade on a 5-minute chart that's going to give you 5 days duration. What is going to be your trade?
Oh, do we have to spin the wheel for this one, or we can pick anything that we want to trade?
No. This is anything you like. If you want to take your time, I can go to Austin and he can look at 5.
Maybe I might take my time. I think Austin's better on the 5-minute anyway, so let him go first.
So first, I'll say to your previous question, too.
Hey, Austin.
Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah. First, the technical thing with the news. The news will always ruin technicals. So as a technical trader, I avoid the news. If I can trade before it, I trade before it. I lock my stop into the news event, or I wait till after it. For example, last week, I had 3 trades long Bitcoin on Thursday. First trade, take a loss. Second trade, this is before the news. Second trade on the news, I ripped it for 2R, didn't close it, just locked my stop, washed it. Greedy as a bastard and didn't make any money on it. Third trade, after the news is done and the dust settles, easy win, 3R. All I had to do was wait till after the news and it would have been pain-free. So trading into news is very tough, especially when you're trading a market that is going to react to the news. US dollar pairs, US news. Yeah.
This is funny because they just flash reminder this is not financial advice, which I actually think is hilarious because it's actually one of the best advices you've given, which is, I like how you summarize it, which is that news will always ruin technicals. I think that's as clean a crisp summary of what I was trying to express, which is that, yes, technicals really work on a supply-demand basis, and handicapping the same behavior over and over again. By the very definition, news is not same behavior. News is novel behavior. That's going to, as you said, ruin the technical patterns. So that's why we see setups that work 4 times, but then they hit news and boom, they're just a stop out.
Yeah. Now to your question about my 5-minute trade. I'm actually going to place a trade. I think I'm going to short S&P 500. So I've got a position already in Bitcoin long for that first challenge. I'm going to make this position a little bit smaller. I'm going to enter now based on the 5-minute. I like the 8 and 21 underneath each 8 underneath the 21 going into the now that we've gone through the changeover of day. And I like the idea of putting my stop at the high of week set on Monday. So I like this idea that we could see the high already set in and maybe the S&P heads lower into the rest of the week. But this week is tricky. You guys got me on a tough week because if you look at the news here, non-farm payrolls are Fridays. On Thursday, there's a lot of GBP monetary policy statement news. So there's a lot of news this week that can really throw a wrench in some of these trades, especially I think I'm a little less confident in this short. I'm more long biased indices in Bitcoin right now. And I often find, you could agree with this, I'm sure, Boris, NASDAQ, Bitcoin, they line up sometimes beautifely.
Oh, yeah. NASDAQ and Bitcoin are risk assets, and they have a very strong correlation. At one time, I think it was like 0.7. I think it may have maybe come down now because of the crypto winter. But there's still correlation there. So interesting in a way. If you look at it from a risk perspective, you're on the opposite sides of risk because you're positive bit, which is a risk trade, negative S&P, which is also a risk trade. But,
exactly. So it's a hedge. It's almost like a hedge, but with smaller risk. It's not an evenly split hedge. But I think the idea with the risk assets, for me, when I come in and this is like advice for anybody, if you come and you're looking at correlated assets, what I tend to find is if Bitcoin and the indices paint, for example, a long bias, it's very easy to then have confidence that long is the direction for the day, I want to follow it. But if I come in and Bitcoin is bullish, NAS is bearish, US 30, the Dow Jones is kind of like choppy, there's no clear bias between them all, I kind of turn away from it that day and I'm a little bit more hesitant. So when I see that there's a bias across the risk asset board, that's when I'm in trend. That's when I'm most confident to trade. So my trend is risk on. My trend isn't bullish or bearish. There's a little nugget.
Got it. Interesting. So what happens when you have like when it's all over the place? Do you not trade? Do you
don't trade?
Or do you
Yeah,
trade
I sit out.
tomorrow?
I didn't trade Monday. I couldn't get a read. Mondays are normally days where I'm not even involved because I like to see things open. I'm growing into this discretionary sentiment, feel my way. I want to hear Jim Cramer. I want to hear you on CNBC. I want to read Twitter. I want to see all these things to see what everybody feels. And then I can come in the rest of the week and I can pounce. So like yesterday, if you look at S&P, very choppy in my opinion. It finished the day very close to where it opened the day on Monday.
Yeah.
Today, finished a little bit more bearish, sends that
Right.
short bias in. Now, as we carry into the rest of the week, if we have our high of week set, this could be a great place to be looking for shorts before we head down to, 40,000, maybe 50 would be a next place.
That is a super interesting analysis and super interesting read because you're right. If today was the high, high of week, that's definitely going to. There you go. There's your orders get placed. That's definitely going to be a very, very smooth downward trade.
Yeah. And look, NFP could come out on Friday if I was still in this trade and shoot S&P 500 higher because jobs come out great. That's the struggle with this.
I don't think jobs are coming out great.
I don't think they're coming out great either. But
all the jobs data is showing a rollover. I mean, it's not going to be horrible, but it may be 200,000 read.
Right.
So it's going to be significantly lower. That's actually going to be positive S&P because the compression in jobs will definitely mute any tightening by the Fed. So I think you'll get a knee-jerk reaction down and then it'll slow build up. But overall, I rarely bet on jobs, but I'm very confident the jobs are going to be weak this week.
The NFP week, this first week of the month, traditionally is my worst week of the month. There's a lot of news that comes out. There's a lot of choppy stuff happening. I always struggle reading markets clear this week. So I tend to size in my trading with my prop firm and my personal money smaller this week. Whereas I come in next week when, like I said to you a minute ago, no crazy news. It's great for me. I can just read
what's
what
the
happened.
Range? What's the range of your size from small to I barely want to make the trade to I'm 100% all in. What's the size of the range?
0.1 to 0.2% of overall balance on a small side. Biggest size would be 1%. I'm never over 1% on a trade. That's big for me. Like today, you saw my trade 0.5 and then 0.3. So I keep my risk controlled because if I lose both of those trades in the same day, I want to be able to recover within that week. That's always my goal. I like to be able to diagnose the mistake. If I take a loss, recover within the week because then I can stack. You know what I'm saying? You don't let those losses compound.
No, that makes sense. That's very good.
So we're short.
Miki,
we're short a little bit here on S&P 500. We're long Bitcoin with more size. That's where I'm at right now, Mickey.
Understood. Miki, first of all, you got to place your trades. My producer is yelling at me that you didn't place your trades.
Okay.
Okay. He's a long-term trader. He doesn't care. Price doesn't matter to him. He's
connection warning. Oh, am I on the wrong chart? I got to get back on this screen right here. I think I'm going to short the NASDAQ, to be honest.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
you guys are essentially.
I already got a short on my real account too, so
it's easy, bro.
That's what you might as well do it on the demo.
Kind of following what I'm already doing, so
exactly. Keep it kosher, bro, for sure.
Okay.
Come on, max it out. 100% margin.
No. This guy is terrible financial advice.
Remember, it's not financial advice, everybody.
Oh, it's not financial advice. Okay.
So it's funny. People say that as if it was a thing that if you were to give someone advice and go to court for it, that they would actually think that, he said it's not financial advice. So of course he was just, no, it doesn't matter. It's just so funny.
I know. It's our disclaimer.
Okay. All right. I know we don't have that much actually. I'm just thinking of how much is in the account. I gotta go check. We have.
If you put the stop loss in, click the stop loss and then click the percentage. Check off stop loss and then put percentage risk. Yeah, that's what I was doing.
Okay.
Yeah, super. Like right there in the bottom right.
We could always adjust it too.
And you could, exactly. But I put the point.
Perfect.
So you could change it instead of 0.03, put on 2%, put on 1%, whatever, and rating that percent risk. And then
is there a setting to change the leverage here? Because I don't use this TradingView trading platform as much.
You won't need to trade the leverage. It's just going to give you whatever.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it because just as long as you do percent, it'll be fine.
Okay.
Just hit the button. Come on, get in the trade.
Invalid. Okay. So now your stop loss, your price, or your ticks are just too close.
My price is definitely too close. Okay.
Yeah. So you got to bump that a little bit. Now it'll work.
There we go.
Yep. So that would be
okay.
He's in the game.
We're in the game. Money now.
Let's go.
Okay, so let's see how this plays out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Be interesting.
So that was your NAS. Is your NAS going to be your 5-minute trade? Is that
that's going to be that's going to be my 5-minute trade. I'm just on the larger
5-day trade. It's kind of a long hold.
Yeah. I'm going to be holding
no TPs
this.
in there.
Right.
No TPs.
Yeah. And then
just stop losses only. No
and
TP.
Then the bear market.
Oh, no take profits. Oh, okay. So let me just
no.
take profit.
I'm being funny. I didn't put a take profit in mine. If we're holding it for 5 days, market will go to zero, bro. Nancy Pelosi, whatever happens, see it zero.
Shit, if the Nasdaq can get down here in 5 days, I've earned it.
You earned it, bro. Yeah, you'll take the 18K.
I mean, come on.
That'd be crazy, bro. Boris be pissing his pants.
All right.
Something needs to happen.
Okay, good.
So actually now, because we're running out of time, I want to go to our third challenge, which is the most fun challenge. We have like a little computer animation here. We're gonna do click to spin, where you get to choose whoever clicks it is going to spin out and force the trader to trade the asset that the thing spins, not what you choose. So it's basically going to be dealer's choice as to what you're going to trade and how you're going to trade it. So since both of you guys have been trading NASDAQ and Bitcoin already, I guess we're going to, is this our choices, NASDAQ and Bitcoin on the production? I guess we don't have any other choice. So this takes a little bit of the spontaneity out of it, since you guys have already both traded on it. But let's just see. Yeah, I like the fun little spin aspect of the thing.
I like it too.
Do I have to click it to spin?
Next time I get the producer to like do something obscure, like Italian bonds and
right. I was gonna say,
oh my God, Lord.
Right. No. We should have gotten GBP USD on here because I know Boris, you love that pair.
My favorite. Yeah, as I said, it's the pair that buries forex traders more than any other pair in the world.
Yeah. They're going to change it for us. All right, cool. So we're going to still get a spin.
Oh, they're going to change it for us because I shamed them into changing it.
That's good.
Great.
All right, no, we're going to get productions working hard.
One moment.
The live change.
One moment while we stand for technical difficulties. I love it.
Oh no, they're going to put.
But anyways, so it's interesting. I kind of, it's interesting, the methodology. Obviously, Austin is day trading, and crypto, and Miki is position trading. So the thing is, max risk on Austin on a day trade is 1%, because Miki is position trading. His max risk is about 10%, which I think it's a really good shorthand for how you should size up, depending on what kind of a trader you are. Because obviously, when you're swing trading, you're trading, like you would look at the PayPal trade. That was a 35% trade or something that you had.
We're up 39% now.
Yeah, 39%. Just like you're never going to be up 39% on a day trade if your life depended on it. You're going to be up 39 basis points, which is why it's all relative. So, like the shorter the time frame, the smaller the risk, the longer the duration, the larger the possible positional risk. Because I think the takeaway that I want to give, and I think 1 is probably a very correct size on the day side, and 10 is probably correct maximum size on the sensor. So, producer, tell me, ready when we are. This is great. They changed it around to a million different things. I love it.
Oh so my God.
Really, okay. So,
right.
who's going to go first? Yeah, who's
I'll
going to go
first.
first?
I'll spin first. Do I spin it or do you spin it, Boris?
I'm not sure. Do I spin it? I don't know if
producers
spin it
for me.
It?
Yeah, here's it.
Okay.
Give me that silver. Give me that silver.
Oh, okay, get silver on silver. And it comes out the NASDAQ. After all of that,
I got the NASDAQ. That's a sign.
Oh,
that's a sign.
Oh my God.
This is perfect. Like you went from a 1-to-1 chance to like a 1 in 12 chance, and it's still the same trade. This is exactly what happens. I love it. That's
Spin
hilarious.
it again for me, would you? Spin it again for me. Let me see if I can get it.
Spin it again one more time.
Give me a double take. Give me a mulligan.
Go again.
I like
if it
the
comes
spinner.
up NASDAQ again,
I'm here for the spinner.
There we go.
Oh, don't give me that.
Here's you get a grandfather trade. Okay.
Oh,
you get a Joe Biden trade. Here's the Joe Biden trade.
Let me see what I can do here, bro. Euro GBP. Jeez. Let's see what we got.
It's a trade that will go 50 points in 50 weeks. So there you go.
For real. All right, yeah. We'll make a move here. Give me a minute to think about which way I want to take this, and then I think I think we're going to be buying Euro GBP. Why not? Call the bottom.
You're going to be short? You're going to be short?
I think I want to be long, Boris. I think I want to be long because you know what? It's been falling. I'm feeling froggy. Right. I think we put a stop at yesterday's low, and I think we rip it long. How long can I hold this one? 5 days as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. Or I mean, there's no time limit on this, so
run it till the end of the week. All right, good deal.
Okay, sounds good. Essentially, so Austin is just bottom picking the euro pound. Basically, he's just I'm
rubbing my crystal ball over here.
Either stops or no sleep till Brooklyn. Stops or it goes down.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Yep.
Okay. All right. Mickey.
Yes, sir.
Want to spin? Let's do a spin for you.
I love gambling.
If it comes up Bitcoin, I'm going to make him spin it again. But let's do it. Okay. The producer,
no problem.
Let's spin it out. There we go. So it's a little slower spin for you. I guess it's in honor of the fact that you're a swing trader.
Thanks.
It wasn't going as fast.
All right.
We have a little bit. Okay, we got a little bit of connection. Okay, here we go. Spinning around. It goes on a DAX. Oh, that's interesting. All right, let's look at a DAX. What do you think of DAX?
Is it not on ACAP?
It's on ACAP. Yeah, it's German 30, GE 30.
Oh, GE 30.
Whatever, I forget.
Yeah, GER 30.
We call it the German. In my room, we call it the German. We're very politically incorrect.
All right.
We're trading the German today.
Look at that. Oh, I'm on some shorter time frames. Let me just take a look what's going on over here.
All right, Boris, I'm in for Euro GBP. I got to stop at yesterday's low. Just looking to catch a bounce.
Nice. So just summarize while crypto is looking over the charts. Austin's positions are short S&P, long Bitcoin, and long Euro Pound. It's a very interesting portfolio. Be interesting to see how that goes. Are we trading for charities today? I'm not. I didn't even ask you guys.
I think we are.
Yeah, we are.
Okay. We'll ask once Mickey gives us a
I would be short the DAX too. Yeah.
You're gonna be short the DAX. Well, the DAX is Nasdaq's little cousin. So if you're feeling negative Nasdaq, you should be feeling negative German. Ooh, what is that? What are those beautiful? Hey, and Mickey, what are those beautiful
Oh, this is market.
This is Heiken-Ashi?
Yeah, those Heiken-Ashi candles. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Heiken-Ashi.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes,
I thought Mickey, I thought this was your heart rate monitor. That's what it looked like to me.
Oh yeah, I know there's some crazy indicators out there. This is one. I love it. I like to use it as well.
It's like a volatility surface.
It's cool. It's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, those yellow X's too. It shows manipulation in the markets. Usually, when the price is getting pushed down, you see manipulation. So it's kind of funny.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I would be short. I would be short the DAX right now too.
Okay. All right. Great.
All right. Gotta enter.
Yeah, that's going to be Mickey's trade. He's going to be short DAX. Yeah. So he's short Nasdaq, short DAX. That's literally the same trade, but it'll be interesting.
The Uber Bear.
The Uber Bear. He's here. Last time you were on, you were also an Uber Bear.
I was very bearish last time. It looks like I still haven't changed.
That's right.
He's consistent. I love it, Mickey. Consistency is key.
I think we need to change your emoji from Mickey to to bear, like Smokey the Bear.
Boris with the jokes.
That's right. Crypto the Bear. Anyways, great guys. Thank you so much. It was really, really interesting to go through all the trades today and discuss some of the techniques and tactics that you guys do. I hope you guys all found it very, very interesting. who's watching, let's just kind of wrap it up by a couple of things. First of all, Austin, where do they find you? Austin city limits? Is that where they find you? Nah,
Yeah, unfortunately, no. Everywhere, Austin Silver FX, just my name. If you search me, just make sure you guys find me. It's all at the bottom of the screen right here. I'm sure they're putting it up. I got a lot of people that impersonate me. They want this beard. They want these good looks. They can't have it though. It's all mine. So just make sure you find me if you come looking for me. And for everybody watching, I appreciate you guys always tuning in. If you're a regular viewer,
so you will not ask them for money on WhatsApp.
I will not take your Bitcoin. I will not take your WhatsApp. I don't use Telegram.
Okay.
Boris, I'll only send you my Bitcoin. That's it.
Thank you. Very good. Okay, great. So Austin runs a really, really nice Discord as well. So be sure to check him out. He's got a great community. He trades really well. He's trading prop. So it sounds like you trade. Do you trade prop live? Do you kind of show your prop trades in your Discord?
I'm actually live streaming every week on what we call ASFX TV. It's www.asfx.tv. It's me and other full-time prop funded traders streaming and just showing how we operate on a weekly basis.
So are you streaming like YouTube? What are you guys streaming?
Nope. I was doing it on YouTube, but I don't like doing stuff for free. So we put it behind a $30 a month paywall, and it makes it way more valuable for everybody. I get to pay these guys to stream and share their information so they come out of the hole because they don't do YouTube. So it's very cool. We bring in a whole community and we record everything. So it's not just watch live. It's you get to rewatch the recordings just like YouTube as well. So you can kind of shortcut your learning curve.
How many hours a day do you guys stream?
3 to 4 hours a day.
That's pretty good.
Across different people, across different time zones. We got the guys in London doing the London morning show. I do New York. We got a guy in the afternoon. Yep. So it's spread out. And then I'll be in London in December. If anybody listening can be in London, we're having a seminar in London. I've still got some seats left. So if any of my UK people want to be there, Boris, if you want to fly over, come on.
No. But yes, thank you.
He's like London in December? No way.
No, right away. No.
I'm just, I flew back and forth. Like, as you guys, I'm sure, are aware, flying right now is just a nightmare. So I flew from the West Coast like twice in the last 2 weeks, and that was enough to stop me for quite
delays,
a while.
Losing bags, everything. I know it's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
Everything. Delays, losing bags, turbulence. I was basically a wet noodle by the time I got back. My wife's like, "Can we go? Should we go on that trip?" I'm like, "No, we're not going anywhere." Miki. Oh, sorry. One last question. Austin, what are you trading for? Should you win? Should you win this challenge?
I think the charity should be popping up. Same charity as last time.
WWF. Right.
Yep,
very
WWF.
Nice. Worldwide Friends. Yeah, very nice. We love the animals. That's wonderful.
Gotta love the animals.
Yes, gotta love the animals. Okay, how about you, Miki? What's going on? I mean, you're a secret agent anyway, so they can't find you. I mean, did they find you?
It's pretty difficult to find me because you don't.
I was going to say, where did they find you? Did they find you on the black web
They found me on the dark web and they decided to bring me to the trading battle. And I said, "Are you sure?" No, but you can find me on my YouTube channel, Crypto Miki.
Yes,
on YouTube, and then I have my website as well, and my Twitter. Again, I saw Austin's Twitter has over 100,000 subscribers, I think, or his Instagram. His Instagram has over 100,000. I was like, wow, this is the guy I'm going against.
Bro, no, don't. You know what, bro? That's 7 years of posting an obnoxious amount of content. So it's an achievement, but it's nothing. Yeah, it worked.
But, yeah, great job. I saw that. I was like, that is amazing. And also, like what Austin does is I really I look up to that. What he educates traders and he teaches, and he has a full course and stuff. And obviously I can't do that because I have a full-time job right now. But the most that I can do is I share my trades. I just show what I'm trading, when I enter, when I exit, and people can pay for that if they want on my website on cryptomiki.com. But
that's awesome. I appreciate that, Miki. Thank you, bro. Yeah. Thank you.
No problem.
And
it's amazing what you're doing.
There's probably nobody who has better looking charts than Crypto Miki. So if you nothing else, you go to a YouTube channel and you can, he really, I actually mean it seriously. Like you see things on Crypto's charts, Miki's charts, that you don't see normally because he does such a beautiful job of pointing out price action. It's where art meets technology, as Steve Jobs said. Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And he is playing for United Way, which I think was his charity last time as well. So that's very good. All very, very nice, valid charities. So we have our trades all set. We have our markets all ready. And even though it may be dog days of summer, I think there'll be profits to be made. So I think it's going to be super interesting. Everybody check in with us. And of course, as always, follow the Trading Battle, and we'll post as much content as possible. I hope you guys really, really enjoyed it. I want to thank Crypto Mickey. I want to thank Austin. You guys have been awesome as always. And as always, we would love to have you guys back into the fall. And we'll catch up with you guys then. The Sports Schlossberg Trading Battle. Thank you so much, guys. Over and out. We'll see you guys later.